Well, 2 years after Amazon launched Prime in South Africa, well, it's now really launching Prime in this country at a huge discount. What a gauntlet being thrown down against Takealot. And we got the big man himself, the head of Amazon Prime globally, Jamil Ghani, is with us on Biz News TV today. Jamil, on a day like this, you've really just got to start with the headlines. I pay, I think it's 99 Rand a month for Amazon Prime at the moment. As of today, I'll be able to buy it for the 59 Rand a month that you're launching it at. Or indeed, if I want to pay upfront for a year, 32 Rand 25, 33 Rand 25. These are extraordinary. That's an extraordinary um, price cut to what some people are already paying. So presumably you've looked at the South African market in the last 2 years and said, we're going to go for it.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for having me. First of all, it's a very, very important and a celebratory day today to be launching Prime in South Africa, our 27th country. Um, like you said, our members have been able to enjoy Prime Video for some time now at 79 Rand. They now will be able to enjoy all of the Prime benefits, including fast, free, unlimited shipping, which I want to talk to you, and I'm sure you want to talk about, for 59 Rand. And for those that are ready to commit to a year, it's 399 Rand, which you did the math. It comes out like, a screaming deal on a monthly equivalent basis. We're incredibly excited. Prime everywhere is about three things. It's about shipping and the convenience it brings, savings, which we're going to talk about Prime Day, I'm sure, which I'm extremely excited about for our South African members, and then entertainment. And the Prime program in South Africa was built for the country across those three key pillars.
You run this program around the world, 200 million members. Have you got a target for how many you can add through the South African ecosystem?
Well, we have big aspirations. We think the proposition will resonate strongly. That combination of fast, free, unlimited shipping, next day in all the major cities, same day in three of the biggest cities: Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban. Prime Video, free download games from Amazon Luna. Like that combination is a fantastic proposition. We don't share our specific numbers. We have well north of 200 million in 27 now 27 countries as of this morning. I'm obsessed about every single customer's experience. I want to make sure that they can experience Prime. We offer a 30-day free trial, which also sets us apart from a lot of other subscriptions that have gone away from doing that. We want Prime members to experience the program and to decide how it fits into their lifestyle. I think you will find and they will find that it just transforms the way you think about shopping, removing the complexity of shipping fees, broad selection, same on entertainment. And so I think it's day one, as we say, literally today. And I think I hope it will resonate with our customers in South Africa.
Jamil, I've had the privilege of being a Prime member in the UK, and I recall my wife ordering a whiteboard marker, and I can't remember, it was £1 or something, and it arriving the same day. And it continued to baffle me for years. And now I've got you to explain to me how you can do this. What are the economics? And it's even cheaper now on what you're offering to South Africans. What are the economics of offering on an annual basis, 33 Rand 25 a month, and I can buy anything. There's no limit on the ticket price, and you will deliver it in the major centers the next day. It sounds like the economics don't add up, but clearly they do.
Magical. Let me just state up front that we do not run Prime globally and in any of the 27 countries as a loss leader. Prime is intended to be a profitable enterprise and is a profitable enterprise globally and in the vast majority of countries. Of course, when we're getting started, you know as well as I do that commerce is a game of scale. And so, we've had the store for 2 years. The reception has been humbling, but we're just getting started, right? We're still ramping selection. We're ramping sellers. We're growing our presence and our service to customers. And Prime is the next step in that journey. But very clearly, our aspirations are for every program to be profitable. If you go back to 2005, where we launched Prime in the United States, which was 1 million items, basically everything Amazon sold. It was CDs, DVDs, and physical books at the time. For 2 days, the bet was that in the long run, removing the number one friction that customers around the world tell us is what prevents them from shopping online, which is fees and sort of the imprecision of delivery. If you could remove that cognitive load, you would earn more and more business over time. And ultimately, those scale economies come into play. And you get to this place where every unit going out the door is contribution profit positive for the business. So your incentives and our incentives are aligned. We don't run Prime as a breakage model. We want our members to use Prime as much as is relevant for them in their life, whether it's that one, dry erase marker or the entire shop of everyday essentials to restock their pantry, or it's getting ready for back to school or back to college for their kids, and everything in between. And so that may not be precisely true on every single shipment, but by deepening the relationship with the customer in the aggregate, you win when Amazon wins, and Amazon wins when the Prime member wins. And it removes this barrier of having to meet minimum thresholds or what have you. And so um, it is we invest for the long term in individual customers and in countries, and ultimately, when you look at our programs that have been established for a couple of years, or in the case of the United States, 21 years, those programs are run as profitable enterprises.
In uncertain times, good information is priceless. The Biz News Conference is heading back to the Drakensberg. Join me, Alec Hogg, from the 11th to the 14th of August for BNC 9, Champagne Sports Resort, where it all began and where our community gathers for honest conversations, smart investing insights, and direct access to some of South Africa's sharpest minds. Come and rub shoulders with the best we've got. 28 keynote speakers, 3 days. Seats are available now. Book your seat by clicking the link in the description. You mentioned food. In South Africa, we have an unusual situation where the supermarkets are very aggressive in the delivery of fresh food. And your competitor in South Africa, Takealot, has got a close relationship, obviously, with Process, which is one of the global leaders on delivery of restaurant food. Now, that those two areas, it would seem to be a blind spot for you, but help us through it. How are you going to compete there?
Yeah. So perishables, groceries, food delivery are very important to households all around the world. And while I know that in South Africa, there's really, really strong competition and really, really good players in that space, the same is true in many countries. The thing I would say for us in South Africa, we're just getting started. Prime is going to get better and better and better over time. You need only look at other countries around the world, and you can see how we're investing in faster and faster speeds, more and more selection, including perishables, and then have selectively partnered with folks in the food delivery space to also bring that as a prime benefit as well. So I don't have anything to share today. Today, the message is really about that next day delivery, the same day delivery, the entertainment benefits in Prime Video and gaming, and then very importantly, and I'd love to talk to you about Prime Day. That is the single biggest celebratory moment for Prime members in any country and globally. And we have a really exciting Prime Day planned in just a couple weeks. It'll be taking place on June 23rd to June 26th in South Africa. We're very excited to launch the program now so that Our new Prime members in our latest country can also participate in this big global event.
Is it something like Black Friday?
Well, if you go back now 12 years in 2015, the team thought, there's really not much going on in the retail calendar during the summer months. That's not a typical kind of peak period. And so, quite bluntly, they invented a retail holiday. And at first, I think, like a lot of things with Amazon, we were misunderstood. They're like, what are they trying here? What are they doing? And it's now become one of the biggest retail events, not just for us, but for others as well, because, of course, others try to kind of tag along. But for us, it is the biggest Prime member exclusive event all year. It complements, of course, Black Friday. But Black Friday has, in most countries, a bit of a leaning towards holiday shopping and what have you. You find with Prime Day over the years, the core insight that's really been sort of eye opening for me personally is Prime Day is a moment when it comes in sometime in the summer this year in June, um, where folks have their list of needs and wants. I have three young daughters, 9, 5, and 2-year old, and it takes a lot to run our household, right? Like there's school supplies and there's, things for camp and there's, things for friends and birthday gifts and what have you that, for the interminable birthday parties we go to every single weekend. And so like we have a checklist of things that we stock up on in the pantry, in their clothes drawers, and what have you. And Prime Day has become both about needs and wants. Everything from cleaning supplies and diapers and wipes, all the way to the big ticket electronics purchases or apparel purchases or home or beauty or decor. So it is it is like Black Friday in so much as it is a shopping event where you can save a lot of money, but it is also different in that it touches such a, I think, a wider range of needs and wants.
So, South African Prime members, would they then participate in a global Prime Day this year?
Yeah, so Prime Day between June 23rd and 26th will be celebrated in 23 now of the 27 countries. The other four will have their Prime Days in the days to come. They're just better weeks for them in their relative country. Prime in each country is selection and deals specifically curated for that country. So it is a global event, and so much of it is a global celebration, but it is ultimately a local event. Like everything we try to do, while we offer Prime in 27 countries with the hundreds of millions of members that you cited earlier, we want Prime to feel like it was purpose built for South Africa, which it was. And that's why we launched it when we launched it. I often get the question is like, how do you decide when's the right time? Why didn't you just launch Prime when you launch the store? And the saying that guides our decision making is we want to move as fast as possible, but as slow as necessary, because the Prime member experience is an elevated experience. It's not a loyalty program. Prime is not like, hey, shop a lot and then we'll give you some kickbacks or whatever. That's not the premise of Prime. Prime has a very different business model, which is the Amazon store is predicated on price, selection, and convenience, super competitive on all three. And then you pay a little bit more when you choose to become Prime to elevate that experience further, to remove the free shipping thresholds or the minimum order values, to remove sort of any consideration of like, do I need it now or when? You're going to get it fast. It's going to be the next day, and in Cape Town, Johannesburg, and Durban, you're going to get it the same day. Large selection at very competitive prices. You add in the entertainment and then whatever we might do in the future, because you track the history of the other 26 Prime programs and they're always getting better. We're always making Prime Day bigger. We're always having additional events. We're always adding new benefits. You take Alexa Plus, which is rolling out globally. It's our latest big marquee benefit. And I'm very, very excited at what we'll do for Prime members globally in time as we roll it out.
Well, the business news community are shareholders, many of them, because Amazon is a member of our portfolio, our recommended model portfolio that they've invested in. So we know a little bit about the motivation behind Prime. Become a Prime member, Amazon benefits because you spend more with Amazon. But it really is in the South African context. You've explained the food. I'd be interested to hear how you are going to break this monopoly that Takealot's associate, well, they're friends, they're part of the same family in long term, or were, have on Prime Video. Because again, personal experience. I came back to South Africa, tried to access Prime Videos, and there were many of them that I wanted to watch, which were unavailable here. They were had the copyright was owned by MultiChoice. How are you going to break that lockhold?
Yeah, I think we spend a lot of time obsessing about the customer and customer experience. We're inspired and monitor what competitors are doing, but I don't spend a lot of time sort of focusing my attention there. I focus on what we want to do for customers, and so for our South African streamers, our, those that are taking advantage of Prime Video, we will bring and are already bringing a combination of global originals, movies and series, Reacher, Jack Ryan, Lord of the Rings, et cetera, et cetera. Um, and then local as well. I think about Rise, the Sia Kolisi story, which is streaming on Prime Video. I understand that he's a local celebrity of the top echelon, and the numbers on the engagement with that single show are off the charts. And so our focus is just continuing to make the streaming service better and better. And we will seek out and either create the content ourselves or partner with others to produce it or to license it. I can't say how the journey will go and how dynamics will change, but history has told us that um, Prime members' engagement is really important for the business community as well. So, like, I think of Prime as having three key stakeholders. First and foremost is the members themselves. My job, the team's job around the world is to drive disproportionate value. Prime has to be so good that you wouldn't want any other option because in one single membership, you're getting the best of shipping, the best of savings, and the best of entertainment. So that proposition, number one priority. Second priority is we can't offer Prime without sellers, vendors, and other partners, right? Because as a marketplace in all of our businesses, globally, over 60% of our sales are coming from small and medium businesses, right? Over time, I expect that the same will be true in South Africa as well, right? And so we have to, when sellers and vendors win, customers win, and then Amazon wins. On the content side, the same is true. We work with the best creators, the best producers, the best writers in the world because ultimately they find that the Prime Video destination across rentals, uh, content sales, ultimately, the originals we produce together, the products that they license or the content they license to us. In other countries, we have live sports as well. It creates this win-win-win for customers first and foremost, these partners, and then ultimately Amazon. That strategy is the same strategy that we hope to invest in long term. We've already been investing in the country, but it literally is day one for Prime, and the future will bring more investment.
Start your day a step ahead. Biz News Insider. It delivers the business stories that matter every morning straight to your inbox, sharp, fast, and free. Subscribe now. So that's interesting for creators of that kind of content product. In the past, they had to really go to only multi-choice. Now they've got Amazon as an option as well. Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We find that in countries around the world, the global reach of Prime Video gives it makes us differentially attractive to creators, producers, distributors, because not only can they serve customers in the home domestic country, but they also have access to distributing that content often in other places. So, for example, we work deeply with the Bollywood creator community, and that content is very popular in the US, in Europe, in MENA, and around the world. Same is true for content produced in the Middle East, content produced in Europe, content produced obviously in LATAM, travels around that region and into Spain. So that is a explicit strategy for Prime Video to be the best place for the best creators to share their creations.
It's a whole new world and really exciting. I guess the other point here was on live sport. That is another area which NASPERS process, multi choice, and in your instance, Takealot, that whole family have got, again, a stranglehold on the South African environment. Would you bid for rugby rights, football rights, some other South African sports that are close to our hearts? Is that a possibility, if not now, down the line?
Yeah, so I can't speculate on what we might or might not do in the future, and I don't have anything to share today specifically. But you can see that in other geographies, we have very actively participated in bringing live sports. Because again, if you work backwards from customers as we do, that's the number one way that we think about things, which is what do customers want, and can we bring a solution and an offering that is differentially valuable, right? And Prime is the vehicle to do that because these are customers that have chosen to engage that much more deeply with Amazon, whether it's in shopping or streaming or gaming or what have you. And so, um, in places around the world, like, in South America, we have very strong relationships on football. In the US, we've got American football and the NBA. NBA is actually because of the deal structure, we actually broadcast games across all Prime locales from the NBA as the international component of that deal. We've got the UEFA Champions League in several countries in Europe, and so I can't speculate on what we might or might not do in South Africa, but live sports globally is a big part of the proposition of Prime Video, and therefore the value proposition for Prime.
So the third leg here of appeal to potential Prime members is gaming. Explain that if you would.
Yeah. So the gaming offering launches today as part of Prime. It includes two key components: it's downloadable games and then free Twitch subscription, where you can sort of support your favorite streamer, included with your Prime benefit. What we've seen with gaming is that it attracts an incremental audience. That maybe is less engaged on other parts of entertainment or on shopping. But over time, those members also discover everything that Prime has to offer, right? That's one of the things that makes, I think, Prime different from other subscriptions you might be familiar with, which is oftentimes members will join for a primary benefit. They want to shop Prime Day, or they are checking out on something and they realize, wow, if for only 59 rand, I can sort of forego, the minimums and, consolidation, and I can just sort of get what I need for my busy household. That might be one primary use case. Another one is like, oh, I've heard about this Jack Ryan movie. It's on Prime Video. I'd like to watch it, so I'm going to try the free trial, or I'm going to sign up for monthly or annual. But gaming is the same. Like, folks want to get access to top AAA games that are included for free for download through their Prime benefit. They also want to, support Twitch because they're into that, and then they discover everything else. And that's the interesting thing about Prime, is where while you might come for the first benefit that meets a need immediately, we work really hard to make sure members are aware of their other benefits and then ultimately take advantage of this value that is included at no additional cost.
Jamil, one of the issues that has hit us here in South Africa, and I'm not sure if this is a global phenomenon, is I've had two instances of products that I've purchased, paid for, and then they've been cancelled. One was a speaker. Another one was a lot of paper, just normal paper that you'd put into your printer. Are the suppliers who do that, are they punished in any way? Because it's quite irritating for the purchaser, and I'm sure it must be even more irritating for you, because the one thing you've got to do is to keep that flow going.
Yeah, we work very, very closely with suppliers, vendors that sell to us as the merchant of record in the retail part of our business, and then delivery partners as well, because that's sort of like the entire supply chain, so to speak, of getting a product from a manufacturer or from a warehouse to you as the customer or the Prime member. And we work really, really closely. We are a data driven company, and so we let the data speak for itself. And then when there are issues, we seek to work together to try to resolve those issues, whether they're transportation issues or inventory issues or listing issues or what have you. Ultimately, we do have very high standards on behalf of our customers and on behalf of Prime members. And so sometimes, unfortunately, we do have to take action to, delist items if they can't be, reliably delivered with the speed promises and the quality promises that we make to customers. But we have a very collaborative work style with partners, because we want them to win. Because when they win, customers win, and then Amazon can win. So I'm sorry you had that experience. I hopefully it wasn't with us, but if it is, please do send me the information, and I'll follow up on it.
No, it was, and it was twice with Amazon Prime. So I suppose it happens in the early stages of a business. You can anticipate that there will be teething problems, but where I'm coming from is to say, maybe that supplier shouldn't have put the product on in the first place, and if they can just willy nilly uh, remove or say, sorry, we're not going to deliver this anymore. And you do get your refund, no problem. Costs you a couple of $100 on top of it, but that's not really the issue. The issue is it was a product you wanted, and you now think, maybe I shouldn't be as loyal to Amazon. Just a thought. If this is a global issue in the early days,
No, no, and the reality is, I will admit it's not something limited to early days, right? When you're working with thousands, hundreds of thousands of suppliers, hundreds of millions of items, things happen. But we track the data closely, and in the spirit of your question, repeated instances become a pattern that then we notice and ultimately take action to protect the customer experience, right? Because our philosophy is that it takes a lot of work to earn customers' trust, but it can be lost very, very quickly. And so we want to make sure that the price selection, convenience, the quality bar for Prime members in particular is very high, and anything that detracts from that hits our radar. We're a very data driven company, but we also use machines to help us manage the scale of our business. And so those types of things flag to me and to other leaders, and ultimately teams take action to make sure that we're protecting that customer experience and maintaining that customer trust.
Healthcare matters, but what matters most?
Having cover for the people who keep this business going.
Bonitas is there for you when it counts. Bonitas, medical aid for South Africa. Visit bonitas.co.za and find your plan.
when you look back in 5 years' time, how would you define success for your 27th country that you're launching today?
Yeah, I think it's pretty simple. I want to make sure that 5 years from now and 5 days from now, we're delivering disproportionate value, because our approach is very simple. If we deliver a value proposition that is really, really compelling and translates into hard and soft expressions of value, that it's like, of course, I'm going to have Amazon Prime because I get so much value back. Um, that if we're doing that, then all the other things take care of themselves. We're an inputs focused company, meaning like, what are the things we can control? And the number one thing we can control is offering a fantastic customer experience, the selection people want at prices that are trustworthy and highly competitive, with exceptional convenience. And in the case of Prime, all of that plus, the simplification of fast, free, unlimited shipping, the convenience of a world of entertainment across Prime Video and gaming and future things that we will do. If we're doing that, then we're doing well, and all the other kind of business metrics will follow.
Now, you've had 2 years to really deep dive into the South African consumer. How are they different to those other 26 countries?
Well, I think they are very well served. As you highlighted, there's some very, very good local options. And like I said earlier, we don't obsess about competition, but we are definitely inspired by it. And we think more choice for customers is a good thing. And so we like having very, very strong alternatives for our customers because it forces us to raise the bar further and further. And I think what you can see in the proposition that we're starting with Prime, in the value being offered and the price at which it's being offered. So that 59 Rand is super intentional, right? Like we want Prime Video members where we have, an established customer base of streamers that love the service. We want them to be like, I get that and more for 59 Rand and I was paying 79. We want them to have that, that's interesting moment as well. And then, for those that are ready, sign up for annual and the 399 Rand is a 44% discount. It's one of the largest worldwide. And that's also intentional because we think Prime is not something I can sell you. It's something you need to experience. And so 5 years from now, I hope you and many, many others are telling your friends and colleagues and neighbors and family members that like, hey, how could you not be Prime? This thing is so disproportionately valuable. You should take advantage. Like just to give you a sense of scale, like last year was our fastest speeds worldwide, um, and that's 3 years in a row. It just goes to show like we are constantly investing to get better and better and better because the world is moving and customer expectations keep going up. But as a result of those investments, Prime members around the world saved $105 billion in shipping fees. $105 billion. And so 5 years from now, I want to have a B like number for South African Prime members. And it's like they've saved this much just on shipping, not to mention all the great content that they've enjoyed and all the games that they've played and all the Prime days that they shopped and, made their Rand stretch further.
Jamil Ghani is the global head of Amazon Prime. I'm Alec Hogg from biznews.com.